And welcome, everyone. A very pleasant good evening here live from the campus of Brevard College, Ives Lamel Family Field, the site for this game here tonight between the Brevard College women's lacrosse team and Pfeiffer. The Pfeiffer Falcons taking on the Tornadoes, who are part of a four-way tie at the top of the USA South Conference. Tornadoes sitting at 3-0 in USA South play early on. Pfeiffer 1-2 in the conference, 4-6 overall. NATO's on the inverse of that, 6-4. NATO is actually 3-2, both home and away so far this season, and they're looking to make Pfeiffer the victims here tonight and extend their winning streak to 5. On the defensive end, the Tornadoes are one of the strongest, if not the strongest teams in the USA South, first in save percentage as well as second in caused turnovers per game. For Pfeiffer, they are second in saves per game, but also seventh in goals against. On the offensive end, the Tornadoes are led by Emily Denega, who just last week as a junior set the Brevard College career goals record and looks to add on to her record here tonight, as we've still got a pretty good bit of season left to go. And once again, Emily, just a junior, obviously the head of this offense, and it'll be exciting to see how the NATOs come out here tonight looking for a 5th straight win against the Pfeiffer Falcons. I am Brady Penn on the air, bringing you all the action alongside Weston Coop, my partner and analyst, here tonight as we take our crack at women's lacrosse for the first time in the 2024 season. NATOs and Falcons coming up here in just a couple of moments. Should be a good one here on a Tuesday night in Brevard. Back in just a moment. Back here from Ives Lamel Family Field, Tornadoes getting ready to take on the Pfeiffer Falcons. Brady Penn alongside Weston Coop. And Coop, how do you feel? First women's lacrosse game, knocking it out of the park here tonight, hopefully. What do you think?
I got to say, I'm pretty excited to be out here, man. I've never really dabbled into lacrosse. I got to say, I'm excited to broaden my horizons, as they say.
Absolutely. This is my first one of the season. I know I handled quite a few women's lacrosse games my sophomore year. Didn't get to check out the team last year when they really started to be on the up and up. But now it seems like we're catching the Tornadoes at just the right time, riding a 4-game winning streak. And obviously, Coop, on the offensive end, Emily Denega going to be the #1 player to look for the Tornadoes. Denega second in the conference in goals per game. Just last week set the record for career goals for a Brevard Tornado just as a junior, and also third in the conference in points per game.
I got to say, that's impressive. I've seen her. I'm familiar with her work. What a dog.
Absolutely familiar with her game. And Coop, before we get any further, we're going to get into the starters here, and we'll start it off with Pfeiffer. Starting things off, it'll be #2, Skyla Jo Charette, a sophomore attacker and mid out of Fort Myers, Florida. Then it's #4, Skylar Davis, a grad attacker, 5'4", out of Apex, North Carolina. #7, Annalise Robinson, who's 6th in the conference in points per game, a junior mid, 5'7", out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And it's Chloe Johnson, a senior mid, 5'2", out of Fort Mill, South Carolina. After Johnson, it's #12, Olivia Garver, a sophomore defender, 5'2", out of Clover, South Carolina. Then #13, Julia Barbado, a senior mid, 5'9", out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. And for Barbado, second in the conference in points per game. Going to be an interesting challenge for the NATOs here tonight. #14, Madeline Chadbourne, a sophomore defender, 5'4", out of Jacksonville, Florida. #17, Emma LaFave, a sophomore defender and mid, 5'2", out of Jacksonville, North Carolina. #19, Saris Reed, a freshman attacker, 5'11", out of Saskatchewan, Alberta, a Canadian sighting. #20, Kamani Spencer, a freshman defender in mid, 5'4", out of Morrisville, North Carolina. #21, Reagan Martinez, a freshman defender in mid from Richmond Hill, Georgia. And #22, Jordan Pendergraph, a senior goalie, 5'7", out of Apex, North Carolina. Pfeiffer, led by head coach Sue Murphy, class of 1990 out of UMass. This is her first season, though, at Pfeiffer, 18th overall head coaching in women's lacrosse. And now for the Tornadoes, we'll start it off with #1, Maddie Norris, a freshman mid, 5'5", out of Jupiter, Florida. Then it's #2, Tori Dingle, a freshman attacker and defender, 5'8", out of Anderson, South Carolina. After Dingle, it's #5, Elise Moore, the junior defender, 5'8", out of Pickens, South Carolina. #9, Grace Blanton, a junior defender, 5'2", out of Birmingham, Alabama. Then the leader of the squad, the unquestioned heart of this team, #11, Emily Denega, the junior mid, 5'3", out of Buford, Georgia, right near my hometown of Loganville. #12, Zan Hill, a sophomore attacker and mid, 5'8", out of Fort Mill, South Carolina. #13, Lex McLaughlin, the junior, kind of does a lot of different things for this team, defender and goalkeeper, 5'3", out of McDonough, Georgia. #15, Cassidy Hutto, the junior defender, 5'4", out of Lexington, South Carolina. #17, Paige Knibular, the sophomore mid, 5'4", out of Newburgh, Indiana. #20, Ariana Casertano, a freshman attacker, 5'5", out of Cumming, Georgia. #22, Kelsey Hamrick, a freshman mid, 5'5", out of Shelby, North Carolina. And then #45, the goalie and one of the defensive leaders of the squad, Kyla Smith-Fondal, the freshman 5'5", out of Baytown, Texas. The Tornadoes are led by head coach Roya Tomasevi, the first-year head coach, her third season here overall at BC. Got promoted to the head coaching job from within here. The Tornadoes also have strength and conditioning coach Toby Naylor. That's a guy that we're familiar with, his second year with the program. And then also assistant coach and BC women's lacrosse alumni Casey Collins, her first year with the squad. Should be a good one. As the anthem gets wrapped up, we will take a really quick break, and we will be back in just a moment from Ives Lamel for Tornado women's lacrosse action. Brady Penn and Weston Coop here on the call. And we are back from Ives Lamel Family Field. Tornadoes and Falcons about to do battle here on the turf at Brevard College. A Tuesday night ball game here. And the Tornadoes looking to make it a 5-game winning streak here against the Falcons. Led by Emily Denega on the offensive end. Just about ready to go here. Zan Hill and Julia Barbado will come up to midfield here for a draw control. NATO sitting at 6-4 overall. 3-0 in the conference. Pfeiffer 4-6 overall. 1-2 in conference play. And the draw control will be taken in by Barbado. Barbado passes it over to Sarah Reed. Reed retreats and now heads inside. Back over to Barbado on the right side. Barbado looking around for a pass. Fires in that one. First save of the night for Kyla Smith-Fondal. And expect to see a lot more of those here tonight as a long pass goes over the head of Zan Hill. And it'll go Pfeiffer's way. Pfeiffer with it here. It's number 20, Kamani Spencer, trying to get the edge on Hill. Hill right on her hip. Gets the pass away to Skyla Jo Charette. Charette racing up the left side. She's met by Paige Knibular. And now a pass fed into the middle to Chloe Johnson. Johnson moving to her right now, retreating. Johnson back over to Reed. Reed flicks one over to Annalise Robinson. Behind the goal now, Elise Moore in close proximity. Turning around, looking for a shot, firing, and missing there was Annalise Robinson. It goes over the head of Smith-Fondal. And it's brought in by Sarah Reed. Still Pfeiffer ball here in the first couple of moments. Robinson has it, now patiently waits. Might attack here though, no. Back over to Johnson. Johnson charging inside, thinks she has a look, fires, that one is off the post. It's up in the air and it's taken in by, looks like Zan Hill, fighting for it now in a scrum. Ball is still on the ground and it's going to be taken in by, looks like Barbado. Barbado with it, one of the leading scorers in the conference. She looks for a pass. Still nothing going, waits for some motion. Now gives it to a cutting Charette. Charette's pass is fired out of bounds and it'll go the other way. See if the NATOs are able to clear here. Been playing a lot of defense here in these first 2.5 minutes. Had the one offensive opportunity where Kyla Smith-Fondal airmailed one over Zan Hill's head. And now Smith-Fondal with another chance. Another deep pass, and that one just out of the reach of Emily Denega. Chasing after it and scooping up there is Kelsey Hamrick. Hamrick on the right side, she has some space. Loses it for a moment, but has it back. Hamrick inside, charging, has a shot, fires, and puts it in.
There we go.
First goal of the night by Kelsey Hamrick, the freshman out of Shelby, North Carolina. And the NATOs are up 1-0 here in the first 3 minutes of this one. And Coop Hamrick kind of did that herself there. Kind of had received the pass, lost it for a moment, and then just decided to charge inside, put it straight through the net.
If I'm being honest, I wasn't sure if she was going to shoot her pass. She was kind of just playing at her own pace there.
It worked out. And the NATOs up early here on Pfeiffer. NATOs are on a 4-game winning streak. They've beaten William Peace, North Carolina Wesleyan, Averett, and Greensboro in consecutive games. And Coop nearly 16 points per game, nearly 16 goals per game during that 4-game streak, and only allowing 3.7 goals per game over those 4 games.
That's a little word we like to call dominance, Peasy.
Absolutely. A really fiery start for the NATOs as that one's up in the air and a whistle is blown. It'll be going the other way. Or no, it'll be a foul against the NATOs. So free shot opportunity coming here. And it was a yellow card, but now no discussion coming from the officials and no free shot opportunity. So Pfeiffer with it is Julia Barbado. Barbado waiting to make her presence felt here early on. Knibular, one of the top defenders in the conference, right on her. Now a pass is into traffic and taken away. Denega has it. Emily Denega, the all-time leading goal scorer in Tornado program history, dishes a pass off to Knibular. Knibular has some open field and now cuts back and reverses course to the right side. Knibular looking around, weaving left to right, looking for a pass, gets it inside, but right past Maddie Norris. But it's recovered. Dingle has it, now over to Norris. Norris circling, surveying, now gives it to Knibular. Page takes a look, waits for everybody to get in position. Now moves to the right. A pass inside. Denega, she's got it.
Puts it in.
Emily Denega adds to her now career goals record for the Tornadoes and makes it 2-0 here early on. NATO's off to a hot start, and who else but Emily Denega, number 11, fine in the back of the net early on.
Okay, so that's it. 2 times, right? There you go. Bring it down. There you go.
2-0 NATO's here. 10:47 to play in the first. And defensively and offensively, Coop as good of a start as you could ask for if you were the Tornadoes. Maybe a little bit more precision on some of these passes, but obviously not an exact science when it comes to the game of lacrosse.
I'll have to agree with you there. Some of the passes are, not exactly what you want, but they seem to be having their way on both sides of the ball, getting to their spots and things of that nature.
Another draw control coming here between Hill and Barbado. Up in the air, and wow, hauled in off the top shelf by Denega. Emily up the right side here, and she's instantly doubled. You see the respect that she commands. Gets it over to Knibular in the middle of the field. Knibular looking around, slow and steady. Page spins to her left, picked up by another defender. Now looking around, passes out of the reach of Zan Hill, and it's going the other way. That's Madeline Chadbourne with it. Now the ball is in the air, and a whistle blows. It'll stay with Pfeiffer. Running up the field now here, and passing it is Skyla Jo Charette over to Annalise Robinson. Robinson going to wait for her crew to join up with her before she makes her move. Robinson now just backing up. We'll see if she charges in or defers to somebody else. Robinson. A pass is taken away. It's on the ground now. Fighting and scoring. And no. A whistle is blown. So the foul occurred before the shot, and it'll be going the NATO's way. Pfeiffer thought for a moment they had gotten on the board, but not to be yet, as Lex McLaughlin has it and gives over to Jordan Pendergraph. Pendergraph out of the reach of Norris, who's going to try and chase this one down, and coming out of nowhere is Zan Hill to keep this one alive, but it'll go up in the air into the stick of Madeline Chadbourne. Now it's back in the air again, and with Pfeiffer. Chloe Johnson now. Johnson of the BC logo is checked, and that one is going to be a foul against Paige Knibular. Got her pretty good in the dome there. And now Knibular going to have to step off. It's a green card. So the NATOs will play one down here. Now with it is Garver. Garver over to the left. It's Barbado. Barbado cradling. And now still taking her time. Nearing the halfway point here as that one goes off of Cassie Hutto. and there's a scrum. The ball is near the goal. A lot of sticks fighting for it, and it looks like Kyla Smith-Fondal that comes away with it, to no one's surprise. Tornadoes second in goals against and a first in save percentage. Smith-Fondal first in the USA South in save percentage at 47.6%. As that pass goes past Lex McLaughlin. Now Denega. Over to the left side. Casertano can't handle it, and it's Lefebvre. Lefebvre over to Barbado. Now Johnson. Johnson going to try and go coast to coast. Now a pass is going to be converted into a goal by Annalise Robinson. Robinson gets Pfeiffer on the board just around the halfway point of the first, and the NATO lead is cut in half early on here. Pfeiffer was getting some looks around the goal and was not able to capitalize due to that suffocating Tornado defense. And, you know, you can only hold water for so long, and once you start getting that many looks around the goal, eventually Pfeiffer was going to capitalize, and the goal is to minimize that as the lead shrinks to 1 early on here.
Credit the assist to number 10, Chloe Johnson.
The assist goes to Chloe Johnson over to Annalise Robinson. Senior to junior connection there. Another draw control is up in the air, and it is brought in by Barbado. Now it's up in the air again, fighting for it. Knibular, and it's taken in by Reed. Reed loses it this time, and trouble with the ball staying in the sticks here as Hill tries to fight for it. And it's Denega that comes away with it and fires a pass out of the way of Jordan Pendergraft. Here's Johnson again. Johnson to the right, it's Reed. Reed trying to put a shoulder on Paige Knibular here. Tries to beat her to the edge and cannot. Now she's checked. Ball is on the ground. Coming up is Hutto, and a double. But she gets the pass away to Barbado. Can't handle it at first, but no one around her. She picks it back up. Left side, Charette. Skyla Jo Charette rearing to the right. Now gives to Johnson. Johnson inside, fires and puts one in the back of the net. So how about that? Chloe Johnson with some really nice contribution early on here. An assist and then a goal. So responsible for both of the Falcon points here with 6:40 to go in the first. Now coming in for Pfeiffer will be number 9, Riley Honeycutt, a sophomore out of Newton Grove, North Carolina.
Now, PZ, I don't know about you here, but I'm sensing a change of pace on the offensive end from this Pfeiffer team.
I think so, and I think that right now on the offensive end for the Tornadoes, they can't get out of their own way. They keep getting stops and getting the ball going back the other way, but they're not really able to clear right now. A lot of errant passes like we were seeing early on, still yet to shore that up. Another draw control. Barbado and Hill. Two of the top scorers in the USA South going at it for the draw control here. It's up in the air. Unable to haul it in is Pendergraft, and it'll go to who else? Chloe Johnson. Johnson playing a heck of a first quarter right now. She dishes over to Skyla Jo Charette. A whistle blows, and it's on Zan Hill. It's a green card. She'll have to step off. So another woman down situation for the NATOs right here as Hill throws her stick down and gets a swig as she gets a break that she didn't really want. Referees stopping things here before we get going again. Left side. That's Skyla Jo Charette. Charette looking for a teammate. Has her. And the shot's offline there from Julia Barbado. NATO ball. Do want to give a quick apology to Kelsey Hamrick, number 22 on Brevard. Was accidentally reading her name off as Jordan Pendergraft, number 22 on Pfeiffer. And with such a fast-paced game like this, it's Hard to switch between the two rosters here reading names. Smith Fondal has right behind her Annalise Robinson trying to apply some pressure. Smith Fondal looks unfazed as she lofts one up past Denega, and Hill, right as she is about to come in, is able to haul that one in, and a stroke of luck there for the Tornadoes. Zan Hill up the right wing now. Has an option to her right, instead goes left, and unable to handle it is Casertano as Maddie Norris right there on the backup to keep it with the Nados. Hamrick over to Denega. Emily makes a move, and now a whistle. A foul on Pfeiffer there. A free shot opportunity coming here for the Nados. Looks like Emily Denega. Denega charges in, fires and puts it in the back of the net. Once again, Emily Denega for the second time in this one. Denega second in goals per game in the conference at just under 4 and already halfway to that mark right here. 3-2 Nados as they retake the lead just under 5 minutes to go here in the first. At this point, it's like clockwork, Coop. Emily Denega finding the back of the net.
And, you just watch her, and she plays with such poise. Like, never seems to get, antsy or whatever. She's just going about it, knows what she wants to do.
That's that veteran experience, and obviously, like we said, set the Tornado goal record as a junior, and she's really had a baptism by fire as a freshman. Obviously, the Tornadoes at that time were not where the program is now. They were losing a lot of games, and Denega was an immediate impact player alongside players like Casey Collins and Parker Moore, and as a result, it's just made her better, and she's a leading goal scorer in Brevard history. She continues to add on to that figure and make it more and more unattainable for whoever the next person chasing it is. She has it here, and she gives it off to Knibular. Paige Knibular, middle, passes it to Denega. It's out of her stick. Fighting for it here is Hamrick. She's able to scoop it up. Hamrick going to go around the back and give it to Maddie Norris. Norris loses it momentarily, but has it back. Now Casertano. To Knibular. Paige Knibular. Guarded up by Johnson. Now inside, Casertano. That one's up in the air, and it's on the ground. Fighting for it is Hamrick, but it will be taken in by Kamani Spencer. Spencer, a pass now to Johnson. Johnson, a pass to a wide-open Skyla Jo Charette, and she's got space to work with. Pfeiffer with some numbers as they head up the field and clear it. That's Robinson. She cuts back and loses Grace Blinton. Robinson 6th in points per game in the USA South. Now behind the goal is Robinson, looking around for a pass, trying to wait for everybody to get in position here as head coach Sue Murphy calls out the play on the sideline. Robinson still with it. 3:15 to go in the first. Robinson. Still holding the ball, still waiting for anything as she's guarded by Elise Moore. Gets it inside. Oh, what a shot there by Barbado. Ooh, little flick of the wrist there. A nice pass. Nice feed from Robinson after she held on to it for the longest. Gave it over to Barbado, who's second in the conference in points per game, and kind of just a little slap shot there.
I got to say, that what a goal.
Falcons goal number 13.
Barbado, a senior out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. Obviously, like Denega, plenty of experience for her as she knots this thing up at 3. Are we going to get the Denega versus Barbado game here?
I think it's a strong possibility here. It's something that I would definitely love to see.
Me too. I'm here for all the fireworks. Has another draw control coming here with just under 3 minutes to go in quarter number 1. Knibular trying to box out on the draw control. She has it. Falling on the ground was Reed there, and now a whistle blows. RSA Page did a little too much there as the pass goes over to Johnson. Johnson charging inside. Has some space. Fires, and a save there by Smith-Fondal just by the skin of her teeth. That one was just about to cross that line. As another deep pass is intercepted this time by Skyla Jo Charette. Charette, a pass to Robinson. Robinson quickly doubled, gets around, spikes one into the ground, and just skips it past the goal. An opportunity there, not capitalized on by Pfeiffer, but they do still have it. As Robinson taking a look around. 2 minutes to go here in the first. Knotted up at 3. Barbado moves to her left and now finds a cutting Johnson who loses it. Cass Hutto fighting for it. It's on the ground, and it's picked up by Kyla Smith-Fondal. Smith-Fondal thinks about going to the right to Elise Moore, and instead she'll try another deep pass over to midfield. Perfect there. What a pass there to Kelsey Hamrick, who's in the open. Hamrick getting checked from behind here, and now she'll move to the right and slow things down. Hamrick over to Denega. And one thing about Kyla Smith-Fondal, you can tell she loves the deep ball.
Well, she is from Texas. I wonder if she's C.J. Stroud's biggest fan.
Possibly. Baytown, Texas, Kingwood High School for the Tornado goalie as Zan Hill wants to create some motion here. She goes left to right. Hill cradling, looking for some space. Wants Casertano, thinks twice about it, though, and keeps it in her own stick. 53 seconds to go. Casertano!
An absolute strike.
Casertano there ripping one there with just under 52 seconds to go in the first, and the tie is broken once again. 4-3 NATOs. Casertano, who we saw a little bit of shakiness at the beginning of the game, not quite hauling in some passes that maybe she should have, making it up for it there. A nice assist there from Zan Hill.
One thing I'll say about both teams here, both teams have the ability to go out and, play quick, but they also both do a very good job of slowing it down when they need to. Neither team panic.
Of course, kind of controlled aggression, I feel like, on the offensive end for both sides here. 4-3 ball game, under a minute to go in the first. 9 shots on goal for the Falcons, 5 for the NATOs, 2 saves for the NATOs, and 1 for Pfeiffer. As this one's brought in by Barbado. She's chased from behind, now dumps it off to Johnson. Johnson to her right, guarded by Denega. Now she retreats. A whistle blows. And another foul here. This one might be on Paige Knibular. So a free shot opportunity going to be taken here by Emma Lefebvre. Chance to tie this one right back up with 36.3. Inside, that one is no good. Ball's hauled in by, taken away. It was in the stick of Lex McLaughlin, and it will be going the NATO's way as that one kept bouncing up in the air. 20 seconds to go here. Denega retreats. Now gives to Grace Blanton. Blanton trying to make a move here and clear it out. A pass over to Maddie Norris. She has it. 8 seconds. Norris charging at the 30, the 20. A pass over to Hill. Hill fires. That one falls out of her stick. 1 second to go. A whistle blows. It'll go Pfeiffer's way, but that will be the quarter. 4-3 NATO lead as we head to the second. A couple of goals by Emily Denega, one by Ariana Casertano. And all in all, the NATOs leading it 4-3 as we head to quarter number 2. Back here in just a moment, Brady Penn and Weston Coop here live from Ives Lamel Family Field.
Zan Hill, Fort Mill, South Carolina. Emily Denega, Beaufort, Georgia. Emma Dunkovich, Ocala, Florida. Paige Knibular, Evansville, Indiana. Audrey Hanson, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Grace Blanton, Birmingham, Alabama.
Kylie Smith-Bondell, Houston, Texas.
Maddie Norris, Jupiter, Florida. Kelsey Henry, Shelby, North Carolina.
Elise Moore, Pickens, South Carolina.
Ariana Castellano, Atlanta, Georgia.
Amelia Fuentes, St. Augustine, Florida.
Grace Ball, Columbia, South Carolina. Tori Dingle, Anderson, South Carolina.
Sophia Harden, Brooklyn, New York.
Cassidy Hutto, Lexington, South Carolina. Lex McLaughlin, McDonald, Georgia. NATO Nation, let's rock.
Back here from Ives Lamel, NATO's leading at 4-3 as we get ready for quarter number 2. A couple of goals by Emily Donego, some contributions by Kelsey Hamrick and Ariana Casertano as well. As we get ready to get things going here. And the 1-point lead for the NATOs. For the NATOs, 4 goals, Pfeiffer 3, 2 assists for each squad. 11 shots for Pfeiffer, 5 for the Tornadoes. NATOs 6 for 9 in terms of clearing opportunities, Pfeiffer 5 for 5, and turnovers just about even at 6-5. And here we go. To start the second, fighting for it is Donega. She's not able to hold it in. And it's pulled in by Emma Lefebvre, and a foul is going to come here against the NATOs. So Emily Donega will have to step off. Another woman down situation. A pushing penalty against Emily. She'll be back in there in no time, though. As Lefebvre gets ready to dial it up here. Lefebvre gets a pass over to Barbado, bobbles it for a moment. Now Robinson. Robinson chipped a goal in that first. A goal apiece for Robinson, Johnson, and Barbado in terms of Pfeiffer's scoring. Robinson has definitely been letting things develop, and now another foul. That one could be against Knibular. And looks like it will be a free shot opportunity. It is. It'll be Robinson. Flanking to her left and right are Blanton and Moore. Smith-Fondal awaits. A shot is good. Smith-Fondal misjudged that just a bit, and we are back even at 4 apiece. That free shot opportunity, when it comes to women's lacrosse, it seems really cracked. It seems like a glitch.
I gotta say, because you can get pretty close to the goal, and there's not much that the keeper can do there. If I'm being honest,
I was about to say, if I'm doing that, I'm just sprinting right at the keeper and at the last second flicking it down. But
yeah.
I know it's not actually that easy.
How about a little bounce shot between the legs?
Third tight score.
Another draw control coming here. This time it's Knibular as opposed to Hill in that first quarter. They await. It's up in the air, and that's as obvious as it gets. Denega thrown to the ground there by Chloe Johnson. And no, they're going to keep going. Zan Hill, and okay, they gave the ball to Brevard as a result. So they didn't let it get uncalled there. Emily Denega has it on the right side. Hill. Inside of Denega, misfires. It's on the ground. Fighting for it, Casertano, and now Denega comes out of nowhere to grab it. Denega, pass inside Hill. It goes right into the stick of the goalkeeper, Jordan Pendergraft. Pendergraft looking around. Now she heads the other way with Hill nearby. She floats a pass up, and it's in and out of the stick of Kamani Spencer. Fighting for it are Spencer and Norris. Norris picks it up now. Maddie Norris, a forced turnover there. Hamrick goes over to Paige Knibular in the middle of the field. Knibular, a little underhand flip to Zan Hill there. About 2 minutes into the second, evened up at 4 apiece. Hill over to Denega. Weaves right to left, back to her right. She fires, and she puts it in. Emily Denega for the third time here already. An early hat trick for Denega. And the NATOs once again retake the lead 5-4. And it seems like, Coop, every time that Pfeiffer gets one in, the NATOs immediately get it back.
And I got to say, that it looks like that's going to be the recipe of the whole game. Looks to me it's going to come down to a last possession possibly.
An offensive game perhaps coming our way, even though the NATOs, one of the top defenses in the conference, second in goals against, also first in save percentage, second in caused turnovers per game too, but early on, not a bad defensive effort. I mean, they've only allowed 4, but not quite as dominant as they've been on the defensive end these last 4 games. Once again, less than 4 goals per game over their past 4 contests. And in USA South play, which was 3 games, NATO sitting at 3-0 in the USA South, they've only allowed 5 goals total. Less than 2 a game. Defensive dominance, but a little bit more than that here. And this one will go Pfeiffer's way. Whistles blow, and here's Skyla Jo Charette. Charette to her left, Barbado. Barbado now to Johnson. Johnson left side, about 2.5 in quarter number 2. 11 shots for the Falcons, 7 for the NATOs. Johnson fakes inside, now goes behind the goal to Robinson. Robinson taking a look around. Now goes over to Barbado. The other number 13 awaits right in front of her, Lex McLaughlin. Now faking to the left, Barbado. Pass inside, Robinson! And that one's going to be waved off. Robinson did put that one in, but a foul occurred before the shot against Pfeiffer, so it will not count. 5-4 NATO lead still. And when it comes to the Tornado goalkeeper, Kyla Smith-Fondal, what a huge boost that is for head coach Roya Tomasabi. Obviously, the past couple of years it's been Lex McLaughlin, as it's a yellow card, I believe.
Yep, yellow card on Robinson.
Yeah, yellow card against Robinson, so a woman down situation coming here. But back to Smith-Fondal real quick. The past couple of years it's been Lex McLaughlin in the goalkeeper position, but now with Smith-Fondal it gives you that versatility to allow Lex McLaughlin to show off her shine as a defender and be out in the field. Now that you've got that strong presence with the top save percentage of the conference in there, obviously Lex McLaughlin is no slouch herself, multiple Defensive Player of the Week nods in her time as a Tornado goalkeeper, but now like I said, getting to show off her stripes as a defender, as Casertano is going to be whistled for a foul there, trying to angle Madeline Chadbourne out of bounds. It's a green card.
I believe there's a little bit of conversation going on down there between the players.
Yeah, I don't think it's friendly either. Pushing there against Casertano. And now immediately getting pressured and checked is number 14, Madeline Chadbourne, but another whistle blows. It'll stay with Pfeiffer. Looked clean from here.
So 2 Pfeiffer players in the penalty box, 1 for Brevard.
And it will actually be against... No, it will be against Pfeiffer. It's number 14, Chadbourne. And now it's going to be Pfeiffer ball. It's a little bit of confusion here on the officials' calls here. So Grace Blanton is sent to the penalty box. Both teams playing with 2 down here. And now a green card. Goodness. Looks like these officials might have taken the over.
14 was let back in, so it's now 3 in the box for Brevard, 1 for them.
3 down for the NATOs right now. Just Denega, Casertano, and Grace Blanton. So if there was a time to strike for Pfeiffer here in the second quarter, it's right now in these next couple of frames.
Robinson in the penalty box still for them.
Pfeiffer with it. It's Barbado. A pass to a cutting Charette, and that one's going to be waved off. And no. Goodness, these officials are making it really hard for the commentators right now. The goal will count after all, so Skyla Jo Charette is able to put one in and even this thing back up at 5 apiece. And I'm having a hard time focusing on what's going on the field with all the whistles and calls going on. Already, we're not the most experienced lacrosse guys, and they're really throwing us a curveball right now.
I'll have to agree with you there. I'm not quite sure what's going on the last 2 or so minutes.
They're vibing.
Credit the assist to Barbado.
The assist there to Julia Barbado, the senior.
Both teams back to full strength after the goal.
Now everybody's back out there on the field. Beautiful turf of Ives Lamel.
Beautiful turf, beautiful day. I got to say, beautiful day here in Brevard.
Beautiful place. Nothing better than the B, you know? They got to stop with these whistles, man. It's killing me. Paige Knibular spinning around. Nice move there. Knibular in the open. Looking like a wide receiver. Page, a little half spin there. Now a pass inside. Firing Hill. It's knocked up in the air. No good. Now fighting for it and taking it back in is Tori Dingle. Dingle to the left side. Emily Denega. Denega gives up to Knibular. Knibular, nice little pass, goes over the head. Looked nice. Instead of turnover for the NATOs as a deep pass goes to a wide open Barbado. Barbado charging up the right side. No one coming near her. And now Kelsey Hamrick will come on her back hip. Grace Blanton charging towards her now. Just under 10 minutes to go in half number 1. We're all tied up at 5. Davis over to Johnson. Now Robinson comes back in. Johnson goes over to Reed. 5 goals apiece so far for the 2 sides. Now pass over to Robinson. Robinson with Grace Blanton right near her. Turns the corner. Knibular doubles up. Now getting the angle. Robinson fires, and it's taken away. Knibular. Paige Knibular runs into some trouble. Ball's knocked out, but it will stay with the NATOs. Knibular looking for a pass. Now she'll just take it herself for a minute. Paige up the right side. Coming in to check her is Johnson. A whistle blows. But they keep going. Knibular Takes her time. Now Paige whips it into Casertano, who can't hang on. Ball is still on the ground, and it's brought in by 21, Reagan Martinez. First time we've called her name in this one. Martinez skips one over to Kamani Spencer. And now a pass goes over the head of Barbado and out of bounds. A kind of unforced error there, a turnover for the Falcons. 8 minutes to go here in the second in a 5-5 game. Zan Hill has it. Reed watching her closely, and Zan Hill's easily going to win that foot race. Hill, no one around, goes over to Paige Knibular. Denega now in the middle of the field. Denega been a little bit more passive, conservative here so far in the second. Trying to get her teammates a little bit more involved. As this time she will charge in. She'll turn around, though, and pass it back out to Norris. Norris right back to Denega. Emily charging inside. She fires. That one's no good. And it's brought in by Emma LaFave. LaFave hitting the brakes and goes back over to Martinez. Martinez lofts one up to Barbado. Casertano picks her up. Barbado gets right by her. Barbado's pass is knocked up in the air and taken away by Zan Hill. There's that NATO defense. Hill steps back, and now she'll wait it out. Over halfway through this second quarter. Hill taking her time here. And now she's going to be checked and have the ball taken away. It's back on the ground, and Hill's going to knock it up in the air. Still on the ground. No one able to get it. Fighting for control, and now Kelsey Hammerkasten goes over to Maddie Norris. Norris, Knibular. Gets a little bit of a pick there from Denega. Knibular inside, fires, no good. She hits the ground. Ball is on the ground. Now, number 20, Kamani Spencer is on the ground, and a whistle blows. A yellow card there against Emily Denega. She's going to head back out. That's part of why Denega has not really done as much here in the second so far, as they keep making her spend time over in the penalty box. .607 to go. Knotted up at 5. About ready to kick it back up here. And here we go. Pass, dangerous pass over there to Jordan Pendergraft. Pendergraft, pressure all the way here from Zan Hill. Hill trying to get some good positioning in check. Pendergraft, and a bit too hard of a whack there from Zan Hill, as Jordan Pendergraft will have Hill sent to the penalty box. NATO's top two scorers both in the box right now, with 5:51 to go. Pass on a bounce over to Johnson. Johnson trying to get by, and does. Nice speed there from Johnson as she gets it over on a nice pass to Charette. Charette by Hamrick, but she stays in close pursuit, now backs off. Charette comes towards Elise Moore. And now a pass to a cutting Barbado. Ball's on the ground, and now Kyla Smith-Fondal comes away with it. Kyla looking around. You know what she's looking for here. And she won't take it. She takes the check down there.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Cass Hutto right back over to her here. We'll see what she goes with here.
Here it comes.
Smith-Fondal, she'll take a few steps up. We'll see if she wants to unleash the cannon here. She does. A deep pass, and it's intercepted. Taken away there by Emma LaFave. Bit of football action going on here. We're used to seeing a lot of good football on Ives Lamel. As that one to a cutting charrette, and she puts it in. So the Pfeiffer Falcons with their first lead of the ball game here, 6-5 with 4:42 to go in the first half, as Denega will head back in here. Hill still a little bit longer to wait.
One thing I'll say about Pfeiffer is anytime there seems to be an opportunity to take advantage, boy, do they do it.
The number one thing that I'm really noticing, the assist to Johnson, I noticed this from her first, but the speed of Pfeiffer. I think that from what I've seen so far, the NATOs might be a bit more fundamentally sound, but I think that Pfeiffer might be a little bit of a quicker team, maybe a bit more raw athleticism.
And I don't know if you feel this way, but it's almost like they play slow for a bit to rock you to sleep. And
yeah.
Then they speed up. I don't know if that's intentional or if that's just pace of the game.
100%. You've seen Annalise Robinson a few times for Pfeiffer with the ball, kind of lull them to sleep, hold the ball for maybe 20, 30 seconds. All of a sudden, a quick pass is fired, and next thing you know, if you're Kyla Smith-Fondal, you're seeing a little lacrosse ball fly right by your head into the net. Another draw control opportunity here for Paige Knibular. That one is on the ground. Barbado fighting for it. It's up in the air now and still on the ground. Denega has it. And no, it'll be Pfeiffer ball. The referees deem. Play resumes here. Barbado over to the left side, Martinez. Reagan Martinez goes to Skyla Jo Charette. The last Brevard goal came at the 12:53 mark here in the second, so over 8 minutes without scoring as that shot there by Johnson flies over the top of the net, and she might have got whacked. Kind of holding her face there. Doesn't have the full helmet on, just the goggles. Yeah, the last BC goal, Coop, was nearly 9 minutes ago.
And
that was Emily Denega.
I'll add to that. I believe we've hit the crossbar at least twice on a couple shots. So, I mean, it's not like we're not getting there. It's just a little dry spell, you know, just tough luck, I'd say.
Agreed. Agreed on all counts there, Coop. A free shot opportunity.
Here we go.
Coming here for Johnson. Chance to extend the Pfeiffer lead to 2 here. Johnson passes out. Barbado puts a move in, gets another goal.
Peasy, you'll have to say. I think the free shot is correct, as you said.
That's what I'm saying. It's Barbado with, I believe, her second goal. Yep, her second goal. She has 2 goals and an assist.
And it's tough because you can't really touch anybody, to be honest. And if you're playing defense, you know, I mean, what do you really do there?
Well, you saw the way that Pfeiffer drew that play up. Tornadoes were anticipating Johnson to kind of be the one to take that shot running up the middle. They crashed down, and Johnson just went over to Barbado, who was left alone, and it was an easy flick shot.
3 straight goals for the Falcons.
So 3 unanswered goals for Pfeiffer, outscoring the NATOs 4-1 here in the second. And as we mentioned, it's been 9 minutes, nearly 9 minutes now and counting, since the last Tornado goal, which was Emily Denega. As Zan Hill gets near the goal, see what she decides to do here. Hill, back pedal, now Denega. Denega fires, and right on time, Emily Denega finds the back of the net. Emily Denega with her 4th goal. 2/3 of the NATO offense so far here tonight, as they now trail by a goal 7-6 in a game that it really feels like the Tornadoes have controlled up until a couple of minutes ago. See head coach Roya Tomasabi all smiles down there on the sideline after that Denega goal, and how can you not smile watching Denega? I mean, like we said, set the record last week for goals by a Tornado in a career, and she just keeps adding on to that figure.
Could we call her the Caitlin Clark of the Brevard women's lacrosse?
We might could. If she can make a little deep playoff run like Caitlin, we certainly can. And Emily had 7 goals on Saturday against Greensboro. So 11 goals in the last 2 games since breaking the record.
How about it, man?
Doesn't look like she's planning on cooling down anytime soon or relaxing, as a nice pass is fit in there to Hill between 3 defenders. She's hit, and this will certainly be a foul against Pfeiffer. Likely a free shot opportunity coming here for Hill, and it will be. And if the beginning of this game has taught us anything, it's that the NATOs have a good shot to tie this one up here. But don't call the announcers jinx if we don't.
What are you predicting here, Peasy? We're going to go right forward, or are we going to run a little play out of this?
I think Hill might go right at him here. She does. She
Right,
fires.
How about it? Puts it
How
in.
about it? That's the reverse of the announcer's jinx right there. That's the announcer bringing things to fruition, and we're tied up at 7 with 3:11 to go here in half number 1.
Tornadoes goal number 12, Zan.
So there's Zan Hill. That's Zan's first of the game. Hill, 2.8 goals per game, was good for 7th entering this one. 4.4 points per game in total is good for 4th in the conference. So Tornadoes have the 3rd and 4th leading scorers across the conference, and both of them with some pretty good contributions so far in this one, as we're all knotted up at 7. 5th tie we've had already here in half number 1. You see down there on the sideline, Brevard football coach Chris Symington, the loose cannon down there. Somebody's got to watch that guy. Zan Hill trying to pick it up off the ground, and now a scrum coming from behind there was Johnson. It will be Tornado ball.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is Coach Simo's first lacrosse game that he's ever seen.
I don't know. He's a little bit different region. Maybe up in Colorado they play a bit more lacrosse than here in North Carolina. I don't know. Not super familiar with the lacrosse landscape. But one thing I do know is that it's probably not safe to do here, but especially not during a football game. We do not need Coach Simo mic'd up at any point in time.
I'd have to say, there's no telling what would happen to this lovely place.
If we had a Hard Knocks style program and you put it in a running back meeting, one of the Sunday meetings,
He'd be like that guy from the Browns that says hut.
Yeah, I was about to say we might get canceled. As a nice pass jumps out of the stick of Skylar Jo Tourette. She tries to save it, but is unable to. Maddie Norris, immediate pressure coming towards her as she gives off to Grace Blanton. Blanton's pass deflected, and it'll be taken in by Robinson. Robinson putting some nice moves there. Look at the footwork. Robinson getting out into the open field here as she heads towards the teeth of the Tornado defense. Robinson, a nice cutback there. Somebody get her on a flag football team. 1:33 to go here in half number 1. Tied up 7 apiece. 14 shots for the Falcons, 12 for the NATOs as Johnson has it. Coming right towards the right hash marks. An entertaining one so far, Coop, I got to say.
Here it comes. I think they're going to try to rock us to sleep again here, and then out of nowhere, change of pace.
Tourette, a high pass over to Robinson. Hutto's right there in front of her, trying to see if she can find a crease. Instead, she goes over to Johnson. Johnson goes over to Barbado. Barbado has that pass knocked up in the air, but Tourette right there to haul it back in. Barbado once again. Barbado, McLaughlin on her. Pass inside. Great pass to Robinson. And a nice save there. Really nice save by Kyla Smith-Fondal. And that's what she does. Number 1 in the conference in save percentage for a reason. And here she goes. Oh, a big deep ball there is going to get past everybody. Knibular trying to get to it. That one is on the ground, and it's going to be taken away by Pfeiffer. Bit too much there on the home run shot. Reed, 16 seconds. Pass over to Barbado. Ball's on the ground. She picks it back up. Barbado looking inside. Robinson, pass is knocked away. 8 seconds. Grace Blanton with it. A pass over to Knibular. She's unable to haul it in, and this will likely run the half out, and it will. All tied up at 7 apiece. Hitting the ground there hard was Sophia Harden.
Your score at the half.
And at the break, Coop tied up at 7 apiece. Let's take a look at some of these team stats. 3 assists for the NATOs, 5 for Pfeiffer. 17 shots for Pfeiffer, 12 for the Tornadoes. And Pfeiffer has had 4 extra man opportunities, 0 for the NATOs. That's something that we probably want to see turn around in half number 2. 4 saves for Pfeiffer, 5 for the Tornadoes. 7 for 12 in terms of clearing for Brevard, 8 for 12 for Pfeiffer. 12 turnovers for the Falcons, 13 for the Tornadoes, but the NATOs with 6 caused turnovers to Pfeiffer's 4. Take a look at the goals for both teams. For Pfeiffer, a couple of goals scored by Skyla Jo Charette, 2 more chopped in by Annalise Robinson. Chloe Johnson with 1, and then Barbado with 2 herself. Barbado, the second leading scorer in the USA South. And for the NATOs, it's really been the Emily Denega show. Denega with 4 goals in this one. Zan Hill with a goal and a couple of assists. Casertano and Hamrick have both put a goal in as well. 7-7 as we head to the half. NATOs trying to extend their winning streak to 5. Don't go anywhere, folks. Just a few minutes away from second half action here at Ives Lamel, and should be an entertaining second half if the first half was any indicator. 7-7, Falcons and NATOs when we return.
It's important to study English because language has power. And being able to understand the history of language and how it's been used over time and in our current era helps us be able to take control of that power and use it now and in the future.
I've learned to express myself with the written word more clearly. I've been given the tools with different structural techniques and all the good stuff that have made me a stronger writer, a stronger communicator.
You're going to learn not just the content of your major, whether it's English or history or whatever. You're going to learn how to learn. You're going to learn how to apply that learning and adapt as conditions change.
Writing is inherently experiential because students have to take so many important skills like critical thinking, communication, analysis, and translate those thoughts into a piece of oral or written communication, and then learn by doing how to be more effective communicators.
The English program at Brevard College prepares you for success in whatever field you choose to major in, whether it's theater, whether it's in the sciences or math, whether it's in business. The ability to communicate is important in no matter where you go, and one of the skills we teach is how to communicate clearly with your audience, whoever that may be.
The community here at Brevard, whether it be faculty, students, staff, are all people who learn and grow together. We learn from each other. There's no place where I don't feel welcome on campus, and that's the best part of that liberal arts education, is you're stepping into different learning styles and different content than you do at any old college where you don't get to grow the brain. It's a culture that encourages self-expression. You're allowed to be you here.
history is everything. It's every discipline. It's music, it's art, it's economics, it's politics. And so students who study history end up with the ability to look critically at every discipline. This is a skill you can use in any field.
I chose Brevard mostly because of the experiential education, and their history program really sold me over. The variety of history classes that they offer. You have classes like History of Stuff, where you learn the commodification of history and how that's affected how we are today. That class really forces you to examine yourself and how you consume goods and how you're living in the world and how is that affecting the world around you.
In a world where the job market is changing rapidly, having a degree in history equips you with the skills needed to have flexibility and a little bit more freedom on the job market, where you can actively pursue different career opportunities. The number one factor I think that separates us from other liberal arts institutions is we have very small class sizes. My current 400 level seminar, which is just history majors, has 4 students. So we work intimately, closely every week doing essentially graduate school style workshops. And that's really important when you're out on the job market and you need your former professor to write you a strong letter of recommendation. Because we actually know our students deeply, we can craft the kind of letter that's going to help students get that job.
No matter where you're coming from, no matter who you are, you're here to grow as a person and they want to help you as much as they can. I'm so glad to be here. I've never regretted it for one moment.
Back here for the second half at Ives Lamel Family Field. Tornadoes and Falcons deadlocked at 7 apiece. And Coop, I know we talked about this a little bit already at the end of the first half, but what have you seen from these two teams, and mainly what do you want to see the Tornadoes continue to do?
From both teams, I've seen a lot of offense, a lot of patience, change of pace. It's really just been an offensive game, to be honest. But both teams, as well, are playing good defense. It's just a matter of, getting ground balls, timely turnovers and things of that nature. But I'm looking for the Tornadoes to clean it up down here over the middle when we're on offense. We keep dropping passes, or the pass will be a little bit behind, a little bit in front. Just looking to clean that up so we can, finish more shots.
Yeah, and like we talked about, Kyla Smith-Fondal, she has not been shy when it comes to these passes that she's attempted out of her goalkeeper spot. I mean, she's playing some quarterback, like we said.
And I'm going to be honest, I love it.
I do too. It's entertaining.
I'm here for it. Launch it deep every time. I'm here.
I think out of the 14 goals that we saw in half number one, the most impressive was that one early on in the first quarter from Barbado. You remember the one I'm talking about?
It was a
nice
flick
little
behind
feed
the back.
Yep.
It was awesome.
And, I'm as much of a homer as it gets sometimes to the Tornadoes, but you got to give credit where credit is due for Pfeiffer, Barbado, and company.
And the sneaky speed for Pfeiffer is something that really just kind of caught me off, like we've talked about throughout the stream here.
Yeah.
It's been just rock you to sleep, and all of a sudden, boom.
Yep, Johnson and Robinson have displayed. Those are the two that really stick out to me, is Johnson and Robinson with their speed in this one. Tornadoes, as we said, a lot more of a fundamental team. I mean, even Denega, who's probably the best player in program history already, not necessarily a burner, but, I mean, just the absolute technique as she gets it right there is just impeccable, as her pass to Grace Blanton falls out of the stick, but Grace gets it right back. Now here's Paige Knibuller. Knibuller clears it. And now she spins around, runs into some traffic, and now gets a pass inside to Hill. Hill retreats. Now Emily Denega, Paige Knibuller. Paige inside. Hill fires, and just like that, 30 seconds in, to half number 2. The NATOs are on the board. 8-7, the NATOs retake the lead. And while that was Zan Hill on the goal, just do want to give an update to the fans at home on Emily Denega, a note that we got at the half. So an update on Denega. In her career, 138 goals, which is outstanding. I mean, she's probably going to end up hitting 200 by the time she's done here, as long as she stays healthy throughout this season and next. But now she's at 42 on the season after the 11 that she's chipped in over the last 2 contests. And just want to run it back here to Coach Simo, Chris Symington down there. We've got an interesting kind of Brevard coaching ties. So Coach Symington was at Colorado State Pueblo before he came to BC last spring. As it turns out, Brevard head coach Roya Tomasabi was also at Colorado State Pueblo 2020 to 2021 season. She was an assistant coach for the women's lacrosse team at CSU Pueblo before coming here to BC. So a really interesting nugget and a really good find there by Phil DeMontmallon up here with us. As whistle blows there, and looks like Johnson on the ground, but she's able to get up. Might have just got her bell rung a little bit. She picks the stick up and now heads over towards the ball. Looks like she's going to be good to continue. Here's Barbado. She'll move around the goal. And now revert back the other way as Reed crosses. Barbado wants a pass, and that one is deflected, but right over to Johnson. Johnson on the right side. Here's what we talked about, Coop, kind of that patience, that slow play that can really kick up in a hurry, as Barbado has it now on the right side. A pass is bounced over to Johnson. Johnson, right to left, back to her right. She fires. That one's off the mark. We'll stay with Pfeiffer as Reed was the nearest to it. Now Reed has the ball knocked up in the air. Her and Kniebeler both chasing after it. Page fighting. Reed trying to box out. Ball still on the ground. And now a whistle blows. It'll go the NATO's way.
Oh, here comes long ball.
Oh, here we go. Oh, that one just overshot by Zan Hill. Or to Zan Hill, rather, and now Dingle with it. In traffic, she's checked. The ball goes up in the air. Whistles are blowing, and it will stay right here as Tori Dingle with the ball whips it over to Zan Hill. Wonder what we're going to see from Emily Denega here in half number 2 after a full 4-goal first half.
Honestly, I'm expecting a little bit more aggressiveness on the offensive end.
The one thing for Emily is she's kind of gotten into some penalty trouble as Hill tries to get it to her, and now it's scooped up by Jordan Pendergraft. That one lifted up in the air. Now Robinson. Robinson skips it over to Charette. Charette getting by Tornado defenders now, and it's a 3-on-3 opportunity. Charette over to Johnson. Johnson guarded tightly by Lex McLaughlin. Good defense and forced to give a pass up to Reed here. Reed. Pass is scooped up there by Emma Lefebvre. Lefebvre, now Johnson. Right side. Reed. Here's Barbado. Barbado wants some motion here from Johnson. She gives it to Robinson. It's right over her head. Chasing after it now is Norris as well as Kamani Spencer. Spencer will come away with it. Ball is on the ground. Tori Dingle checking from behind, and now Spencer has it. Gives it away to Johnson. A wall of Tornado defenders set up with their heels right in front of the 10-yard line. Johnson weaving, looking, and now has the ball knocked out of her stick, but right behind her to recover it is Emma Lefebvre. Lefebvre over to Reed, and now a shot clock violation. Good defense by the Tornadoes. There was nothing given there. As Hutto goes over to Kyla Smith-Fondal. And we'll see if she wants to show off the arm here again. Smith-Fondal. Pretty deep one there is going to roll and be brought in. No, it looked like it was going straight towards Sophia Harden. Harden does end up coming away with it, though. Took a little bit of an extra effort, but now Tori Dingle has it. Dingle, near side, gives over to Denega. Emily quickly over to Paige Knibular. Just over 5 minutes into half number 2 here. Knibular, a pass inside the hill. She can't handle it. And picking it up and taking off is Emma Lefebvre. Lefebvre, a pass over to Pendergraft. Now Pendergraft to Reagan Martinez. Martinez, now Johnson. Johnson, a pass right to midfield. That's Charette rather. Charette loses it for a moment. Trying to scoop it up off the ground and does. Knibular and Blanton both in close range, and she gives to Johnson. Johnson. Now over to Barbado. Barbado. Now Robinson. Charette. Over to the left side, Robinson. Robinson. Johnson. Johnson. Pass McLaughlin. That one is just going to roll past the goal. It was skipped right in front of Smith-Fondal. She wasn't able to haul it in at first. Now another deep ball is over the head. Got to take a little bit off based off these last few passes. Hard contact there, a whistle blowing. Really more looked like Johnson got tripped up, but it kind of looked bad.
I'm wondering on these deep passes here if she's trying to lead them or if it's supposed to be like directly to them.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested on that myself, to be honest with you. Pass up in the air to Charette. There's a green card against Ariana Casertano. She now sits in the penalty box. Nado's again with the woman down about halfway through this third quarter. Just the one goal so far by either team. As that pass is off the leg of Barbado, McLaughlin has it. Alex McLaughlin gets a pass over to Norris. Now Norris up the right side. Trying to win with some speed, now some finesse. I want to be whistled back. And now Norris will start things off. Emily Denega tells her to hold on a second.
Green card on 3.
Knibular. Right hash. Now to Denega. Denega fires. No good. Pendergraft able to haul that one in. A save there for her. Now a deep pass of her own. It bounces over the head of Barbado, and she just can't do it like Kyla Smith-Fondal, I guess. Jokes aside, we have seen that from both goalkeepers, some overfires as Robinson moves to her right, gets some space, quickly covered up, and now Smith-Fondal with a save. It goes right back to Pfeiffer. And now Barbado a pass to Johnson. Johnson, again, that patience, letting things develop, goes over to Barbado. Coming back in here is Victoria Tita. Barbado looking around. Smith-Fondal watching carefully. Barbado trying to get a shot, and that one's off the mark. Just a bit high and to the left of the goal there. So here come the NATOs, and here comes Kyla Smith-Fondal.
I think we'll see a check down pass here, Peasy.
And no, we'll see nothing of the sort as that one's taken away, but saved by Smith-Fondal. It's up in the air. Robinson still has it, and a penalty coming here against the NATOs. Looks like a push. Too many tornadoes down there to immediately identify who it was. And now free shot opportunity for Robinson. Coming from the left side. Robinson charges in. She fires. It's scooped up and taken away. A nice save there. Kyla Smith-Fondal, and the NATOs with it now. Lex McLaughlin going to go quick. Awaiting a pass. And Smith-Fondal will hit her. Lex McLaughlin has it around midfield. Nobody coming up to pressure her. A lot of open field for Lex. And now it closes up as she gives it off to Tori Dingle. Approaching the 5-minute mark here in quarter number 3. NATO's holding an 8-7 lead. The only goal we've seen here in the third was by Zan Hill 30 seconds into the quarter. So some good defense or some ineffective offense by both sides. Probably a mix of both in reality. As Knibular has it. Spins to her left. Has some space. Page has it knocked out of her stick. And it's taken by Pfeiffer. Some contact. And it'll be going Pfeiffer's way. You see Toby Naylor down there getting fired up, giving the encouragement. Strength and conditioning coach, Brevard College football legend, Tobias Naylor.
Shout out to the man from England.
Toby Naylor from across the pond. As Skyla Jo Charette has it. Charette over to Robinson. Toby might be our lacrosse version of Jock Pledger. Coop, I know you're unfamiliar, but for some reason, every single baseball game that me and Eli Carr do, we find a way to mention Jock even when he's not playing. A foul ball comes to him or something happens where Jock's name gets mentioned. Maybe that'll be Toby here with the women's lacrosse team. We'll have to see.
I can see that. Toby's a man of high energy and huge charisma. You know, that's just a hard guy to miss.
Of course. Barbado heading around the goal here. Only 25 on the shot clock. That one's knocked up in the air and taken away by Emily Denega. Denega ranges to her left and now passes back to Paige Knibular. Knibular trying to get up the field here. NATO's moving with some good flow on the offense. Paige trying to get the edge. 2 defenders on her. She gets between both of them. Knibular looking around, weaving inside, fires in, puts it in! Paige Knibular with the NATO's second goal of the third here, and they lead it 9-7 now, a 2-point cushion.
It starts on the other end, Peasy. I got to say, you know, this Pfeiffer team really likes to get the ball to the middle. And the last couple possessions, they just quite simply have not been able to do that.
Tornadoes goal! Tornadoes goal number 17,
Paige Knibular getting in on the fun. That's her first. So 1 goal apiece for Knibular, Casertano, and Hamrick. A pair of them for Zan Hill, and then 4 for Emily Denega. Emily 4 for 6 in all, 5 shots on goal. That was Paige's second shot on goal. So another draw control coming here with 3:10 here in the third. And now a timeout coming here. 3:10 to go. NATO's leading at 9-7 here in the third. And we'll take a quick break. Brady Penn and Weston Coop back when we return here. NATO's holding a 2-point lead.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Back out of the timeout. NATO's leading at 9-7 with 3 minutes to go here in the third. 23 shots for the Falcons, 15 for the NATOs, but the Tornadoes with 2 more saves and 2 more points as we near the end of the third. Had some Cotton Eye Joe running through the speakers here at Ives Lamel Family Field. Coop said he was a big fan.
I bet nobody's surprised by that.
See, that was actually in his pregame playlist in high school.
Yeah, that's what I used to listen to before the rodeos, Peasy.
Exactly. Zan Hill here with the ball. Less than 3 minutes to go until we get to the fourth. NATO's holding a 2-point lead. Hill gives it to Knibular. She has to stoop down to grab it. Page kind of taking a page out of Pfeiffer's book. Being patient here. And now she'll turn the corner. Knibular cuts back. Now gets some space and looks for a pass. And now looks like Denega got pushed by Skylar Jo Charette, who knew she'd did it. She put her hands behind her back as soon as the whistle was blown. Bit too late for that.
Here we go.
Free shot opportunity here for Emily Denega. Chance to make her 4 goals turn into 5. Make it a 10-7 game here. Denega right. Inside. Fires! And there it is. Automatic and money. 12 goals now in the last 2 games for Emily Denega. It's a 10-7 lead. The NATO's possibly starting to pull away here late in the third.
I wish I could say I'm surprised, but Denega's just a beast.
So there's career goal number 139 and goal number 43 on the season. Denega nearing that 50 mark. Probably get it here in the next game or 2. So a 10-7 lead, 2:21 remaining here in the third. NATO's pacing right for about their average here on this win streak. They are averaging 15.7 points per game, or goals per game rather, during the 4-game win streak. Only allowed 3.7. Obviously, Pfeiffer well surpassing that. Now whistle's blowing. Everybody will come back. It's going to be a green card against Skylar Jo Charette. Does not agree, kind of shrugging her shoulders saying, what did I do? Can't say that I saw a whole lot, but also, again, we're not the biggest lacrosse experts there are. So there's probably a lot that I've missed. All that to say. As that pass fires way over the head of Maddie Norris, but it goes right to Zan Hill. As we approach the 2-minute mark, Hill moving left to right, trying to find some space. Instead, she'll find a pass to a cutting Denega, who's got another one. Goal number 6 for Emily Denega. She had 7 on Saturday. She might be trying to outdo that here tonight.
Here we go. It's all about the fireworks.
Tornado.
So there's career goal number 140 and goal number 44 this season. You think Denega ever just gets bored out there doing this?
Honestly, I'm going to say yeah.
So when you take a look at Emily season by season, 44 goals her freshman year, which she has already matched with that one right there. Her sophomore year, 52 goals last year. She seems like she's on pace to well smoke that. And 44 so far here in 2024, a total of 140. And like I said, I fully expect Emily Denega to get to 200 as Zan Hill goes inside. That was also a great pass by Hill, too, to a cutting Denega. It's like a well-executed cut and layup in basketball. And for Emily Denega, it might as well be a layup.
Caitlin Clark.
Knibular inside Denega. Emily again just off the mark to the left. Just a bit outside. 1:16 to go here in quarter number 3. NATO's pulling away, 11-7. Not quite out of the woods or by any means with another 16 minutes to go, but things looking good right now as they have held Pfeiffer scoreless here in this third, and got to assume that head coach Roya Tomasabi wanted to get on the team a little bit more on their interior defense at the half. At least that's what the results are saying, she told them. Denega gets tripped up a little bit and now hit. A yellow card. That's going to be against Chloe Johnson. Johnson will head off into the penalty box. .45 seconds to go here in the third. Denega, pass over to Knibular. Page looking for a pass. Gets it into Norris. And it's taken away. Taken away by Pendergraft there. And now an errant pass is going to roll away. Grace Blanton tries to pick it up off the ground and does. A nice move there by Grace Blanton. And she might have got away with a little contact there. 15 seconds to go. Kamari Spencer has it. It's back on the ground and now a whistle blowing. Pfeiffer ball, 6 seconds to go, 5 seconds. And it looks like Pfeiffer is going to be content to just let this one roll out to the fourth. 11-7 Tornadoes. And Emily Denega, how about it? A pair of goals for her in that third quarter. And the NATO's sitting pretty right now with the couple of goals from her, a goal from Zan Hill as well. Paige Knibular knocking one in, too. It's 11-7 Tornadoes as we head to the fourth. Back here in just a moment from Ives Lamel Family Field of the NATO's well in control.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Fourth quarter here at Ives Lamel Family Field, and the NATO's holding an 11-7 lead. Something interesting to watch here, Coop, what we were just informed of. So coming into tonight, Emily Denega sat at 180 career points. That is goals and assists. The program career record is 188, and after the 6 goals from her through 3 quarters, she sits at 186. So if in this fourth quarter we see Denega combine for 3 goals or assists, she will not only be the career goals record holder as a junior, she will be the career points record holder, which is just outstanding. And once again, Denega obviously has gotten a lot of playing time all 3 years, but to do that prior to your senior year is just, it's fabulous.
It's absolutely incredible. I mean, upping your game every year is also something that I think is worth noticing.
Absolutely. Once again, 44 goals in her freshman year, 52 her sophomore year, and well on pace to surpass that here in her junior season. She might hit 100 in her senior year, as that one goes up in the air, and it's brought in by Emma Lefebvre. Lefebvre over to Skyla Jo Charette. Pfeiffer needing a spark after a scoreless third quarter. Charette moves around the goal. That Pfeiffer offense has been really patient all game, but maybe a bit too patient, as Robinson has this one. Robinson trying to get some space on Paige Knibular. Fires! And just like that, call that one, announcers Jinx Coop. Right as I said, they needed to get going on the offensive end. They do. An early goal right at nearly the exact same time that Zan Hill scored hers to begin the third, and it's 11-8. So that one is put in by Annalise Robinson. That's her third. And speaking of people that have scored a lot of goals here tonight, Emily Denega, 7th time in her career with 6 or more goals in a game. Her career high is 7. So not only if we see a combination of 3 goals or assists do we see her break a record, we could see a career high in goals for her. Emily has had 6 goals 4 times in her career and 7 goals 3 times, including this last Saturday at Greensboro. Sitting at 6 goals right now. 2 more is a career high for the junior who already owns the career goal record at Brevard, as Paige Knibular hits the brakes and puts a nice move on a defender, gets it over to Denega, but she goes right to Zan Hill. That's the most impressive part to me, is Emily Denega is not the lacrosse equivalent of what you would call a shot chucker in basketball. She's a very team-oriented player, looks for her teammates, and we were even saying she needed to be more aggressive in that second quarter, as Zan Hill might have got hacked there. Looks like she did. Might be setting up for a free shot opportunity, and we are. But Denega does not force the issue. She's just that good. We'll see what Hill does here. Goes straight towards it. That one's knocked up in the air. And it's brought in by Jordan Pendergraph, the goalkeeper, as she looks for her next move.
Little check down pass.
Pendergraph, yep, gets that one shortly over to Barbado. And now here's Johnson. Johnson with some space. You see the speed there of Chloe Johnson, a senior out of Fort Mill, South Carolina. Nothing happening here now. Barbado with the ball. And here it is. Looks like they're kind of trying to go back to what they were at the beginning of this game, like you said, Coop, which is lull this Tornado defense to sleep and get deep into their sets. Already more than halfway through the shot clock, as that one nearly knocked in by Skyla Jo Charette. Instead, Kyla Smith-Fondal there to get another save. And this will go the NATO's way. About 2.5 into the fourth. NATO's leading it by 3, 11-8. Another deep pass here coming from Kyla Smith-Fondal. Perfect pass there to Zan Hill. Hill, a couple of goals herself in this one, and the pass just out of the reach of Dingle. Casertano is able to haul it in. Ariana Casertano, she has a goal tonight. Now Paige Knibular. Page spinning, met by 3 defenders, and now she'll back up and try and get some more real estate here. 3 minutes into the final frame. Out of the reach of Denega, and it's on the ground. Zan Hill has it. It's back on the ground. Tori Dingle knocks it up in the air. Denega's able to pull it in. An immediate pass over to number 10, Sophia Harden. And now here's Dingle. Tori Dingle goes over to Norris. Casertano. Knibular. See if we get a Denega cut here. We do, but Knibular will look around and be hit. Whistle's blowing. It's going to go against Pfeiffer. I'll wait and see what the call is. Looks like another free shot opportunity coming here for the NATOs and Paige Knibular specifically. Knibular charges inside, now cuts back and has it taken away. Ball is on the ground. Denega's chasing after it, and Emily's going to be able to recover it. Denega, a pass inside, turning around. Hill fires quickly, and there's an assist. Cooper 2 away from the career points record. Denega there on the feed. That's her first of the night. 7 points for her.
What a find right there. What a find.
That was, I don't even know if Zan Hill was expecting it to come in that quickly. You saw her kind of a little hesitate and then a spin, maybe a little dream shake action there.
And was so open, had time to say, oh, wow, I just got it.
Oh, what a pass. Turn around. Mink.
Mink.
12-8 NATO lead. They erase the goal for now that Pfeiffer knocked in at the beginning of the fourth.
I think we're going to see history here tonight, Peasy.
I sure hope so, and I hope that the record breaker is a goal. I'm the selfish type. I don't want to see an assist. I want to see her fire another one and go ahead and get that career high in goals too.
I think I could get behind that, but hey, record's a record.
Absolutely. As that one flies over the head of Denega, but Paige Knibular right there on the draw control. Knibular checked from behind, and that a pretty clear foul there against Annalise Robinson. At the very least, I want to see Emily tie the record here tonight. But at that point, once you get to the tie, you might as well break it, I feel like.
Why not? I mean, it's a pretty good philosophy.
Nobody likes ties. Knibular has it. Patiently scanning. Now get to the Hill. Hill fires again, but this one just a bit high. It will stay with the NATOs. Dingle and Sophia Harden both nearby. Now Dingle charges inside, looking around, goes to Knibular. Page. Denega moving around, but closely surveyed, rightfully so, by this Pfeiffer defense. Knibular inside, has some space, turning around, loses the ball. She's on the ground, and another whistle. See what the call is here. Looks like another free shot opportunity coming here for Knibular. And if I'm the NATOs, I'm running a cut here by Emily Denega, trying to do what Pfeiffer did earlier with Barbado. Instead, Knibular is going to go right for the jugular. It's knocked up in the air, chasing after it. Casertano, it's out of her stick, but she's got it, recovering it to keep it with the Tornadoes. Ariana Casertano goes to her right, Zan Hill. Some movement by Maddie Norris here coming around. But Hill in no rush, holding a 4-point lead with 9:40 to go. Casertano moving inside, whistles blowing. And looks like another foul against Pfeiffer coming here. And another free shot opportunity perhaps.
You think Casertano is part of the pest control?
I'm not sure. Not quite sure yet. Only the first time seeing her. We've seen plenty of Nalia Boyce with the mouse in the house. As Casertano charges in, and she just might be. She just might be as she makes it a 13-8 ball game and puts one in the back of the net. 9:26 remaining, and the NATOs now holding a 5-point lead. Getting close to bringing this one home. The only thing that could have made that better is if Casertano knocked it in off of a Denega assist, but we'll take them. NATO's scoring across the board by period so far. 4 in the first, 3 in the second, 4 in the third. And if there is a trend, they're only going to score one more time in the fourth, but let's hope not because we want to see that Emily Denega record. For those of you that missed it earlier, Emily Denega came into today with 180 career points, that is goals and assists. The record is 188, and after her last assist just a couple of moments ago, Denega sits at 187, 2 away from breaking the record, 1 away from tying it. We've got 9 minutes and 26 seconds to see if she'll be able to do it tonight. Against the Pfeiffer Falcons, Denega climbs the ladder to get that one. Now gives to Hill, who loses it for a moment, has it back. Hill's going to go right over to Denega, who flips it over to Paige Knibular. Knibular. Little fancy behind the back pass there to Denega. Emily quickly doubled. A pass to Hill. Hill turning around. Back to Denega. Denega inside. Norris has it knocked out of her stick. And a foul. It's looking like Emily Denega is trying to get that assist here. I think it might be time for that Mamba mentality to kick in. Just keep shooting. Or like you said, the Caitlin Clark earlier. We just saw her hit just a banger from like the 35-yard line.
I would probably jump out of the box.
Yeah, I think I might follow suit. Free shot opportunity coming here for Zan Hill. Hill charges in. A nice save there by Pendergraft. 8:42 to go, 13-8 ball game. Pendergraft passes, it's knocked away, and it's on the ground, fighting for it. Johnson and a group of Tornadoes, but it will be Pfeiffer ball after the whistle blows. Johnson lost her stick. And now losing the ball is Charette. Fighting for it, Charette and her teammate Kamani Spencer. Spencer cannot pick it up off the crown, and she's finally able to. And now she loses it immediately. Knibular right behind her, but now Spencer able to get out of trouble's way. Here's Robinson. Nearing the halfway point here in the fourth. And for obvious reasons, we want to see the Tornadoes on the offensive end. Shots pretty even now. 24 for the NATOs, 25 for the Falcons. Robinson displaying that patience, but only 12 left on the shot clock. Charette inside, fires! And how about that? Charette with another one there, her third.
That was a nice shot.
That was a really good shot over there from that left side, angling towards Kyla Smith-Fondal.
I don't know about you, Peasy, but I'm a sucker for the long goals.
Oh, of course. I mean, you know, you watched last night. You tell me what's more impressive, Caitlin Clark shooting from 35 or Angel Reese shooting from a foot away.
I'm going with Caitlin Clark from half court.
Exactly. Same thing applies here. The farther the better, for sure.
45-yard line for the record, huh?
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Absolutely send it.
No, I'm definitely here for it.
Because she has to know. Somebody's had to tell her.
You're about to get me going with some basketball discourse. I was about to start going on about LeBron James, but I'm just going to not do that here. Maybe later. Maybe if Denega breaks the record, we can break out the Braun dialogue, as that one's going to go Pfeiffer's way. Charette now with 3 goals after the one just a moment ago to make it a 4-point game. 13-9. Passes over to Julia Barbado. She gets whacked in the face, though. And it'll be a yellow against Elise Moore. She'll head out. Moore will spend some time in the penalty box to think about what she did. Just joking. Free shot opportunity coming for Pfeiffer, and looks like it'll be Barbado from the left side to take it. No, we're more towards the middle. Barbado fires and puts one in, so just like that, it's a 3-point game. And if she wasn't already, it might be time for Emily Denega to up the ante here and really chase after that record, as not quite a nail-biter yet, but a 3-point lead is a lot smaller than a 5-point lead that the Tornadoes held just a moment ago. That's Barbados' third, so a trio of Falcons with 3 apiece. How about it? .7:03 to go as a draw control awaits for Paige Knibular. Referee setting the ball between Barbado and Knibular. Now the whistle blows. It's up in the air, and Emily Denega missing that one. It'll go to Pfeiffer. Whistle's blowing now, and another stoppage with 6:56 remaining. The 2 near officials will confer, talk about what they saw. Sand Hill wants a certain call. She's pointing the other way.
Looking down here at the NATO bench, and everyone, including the coaches, is kind of pointing down here to the left. So I'm not sure what's going on.
Get an update here in a minute, but it is Pfeiffer ball. As Skyla Jo Charette. Charette over to Barbado. Just knocked in her 3rd goal moments ago. She thought about finding a cutting Robinson. Instead, she holds on to it and heads back the other way towards the right wing. Barbado, even with the goal on the right side, now she's pressured. Ball's knocked out, and a whistle blowing. 6:22 remaining here in the 4th. NATO's holding on to a 3-point lead, 13-10. Trying to close in on a 5-game win streak and improve to 4-2 here at Ives Lamel Family Field. Another free shot opportunity here for Barbado. She passes to a cutting Charette who can't handle it. And now Kyla Smith-Fondal with it. We'll see if she's going to unload the deep pass again here with 6:13 remaining. Intermediate pass there to Grace Blanton. She's not able to handle it. It'll go right back to Pfeiffer. Emma LaFave passes to Barbado, who tries to put a move on Knibular. Now to her left, Charette. Skylar Jo Charette. Skyla, rather. Apologies to old Skyla. 5:45 to go. 13-10 ball game. Pass over to Robinson. Left side. Robinson puts a move, fires, and that one misses just a bit high there. As the clock continues to tick. We'll stay with Pfeiffer. Reed. Patient. Now we'll see what she tries here. Trying to get the edge on Blanton, firing and missing there. Ball is on the ground, fighting for it is Hill. But it will be taken away by Skyla Jo Charette. 5-minute mark. 13-10 ball game. Robinson with it now. 4:50 to go. Pass to Johnson. She loses it and has to run back to get it, but no one near. No harm, no foul. Johnson works a move on Moore. A pass is knocked up in the air, and trying to bring it in is Elise Moore. She is able to. Moore is pressured. Now whistle blows. It'll be tornado ball. Less than 4.5 remaining here. And you see, even 50 yards down the field, there's a defender right on the hip of Emily Denega. And I think if they didn't know before this game what she could do, they do now. With 7 points, 6 goals, 1 away from matching a career high, 2 away from breaking it. We'll see what happens with 4 minutes remaining. Kyla Smith-Fondal over to Elise Moore, who bobbles it momentarily. Now Moore. A pass out of the reach of Lex McLaughlin. Barbado fighting for it. It's on the ground. It's knocked up in the air, and Zan Hill has it. Hill up the right sideline. Defender right behind her is Robinson, but she's able to escape the traffic and get to the middle of the field where she gives off to Paige Knibular. NATO's closing in on their 5th straight victory. If they can hold on for 3 minutes and 26 more seconds. Knibular looks around and now charges in. To the left, a lot of traffic. Nowhere to go. That pass is taken away Barbado. Barbado, long pass over to Robinson. Robinson, crossfield pass to the near side. It's Johnson. 25, Johnson. Moving between defenders. She goes inside. She fires, and there's a goal. It's a 2-point game all of a sudden with just under 3 minutes to play.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. The speed by Johnson.
Not exactly what the Tornadoes envisioned here for this 4th quarter. Being outscored 4-2 here in the final frame. There's a slashing penalty as well on Lex McLaughlin. And a timeout coming here for Pfeiffer. Now they realize they're back in this one. 13-11. Going to see what adjustments that head coach Sue Murphy comes out with here out of the timeout. We'll rejoin you here momentarily for the final stages of this one. Tornadoes leading at 13-11.
Zan Hill, Fort Mill, South Carolina.
Emily Tenega,
Beaufort, Georgia.
Emma Zemkovich, Ocala, Florida. Paige Knibular, Evansville, Indiana.
Audrey Hanson, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Grace Blanton, Birmingham, Alabama.
Kyla Smith-Fondal, Houston, Texas.
Maddie Norris, Jupiter, Florida. Kelsey Henry, Shelby, North Carolina.
Elise Moore, Pickens, South Carolina.
Ariana Castrotano, Atlanta, Georgia.
Amelia Fuentes, St. Augustine, Florida. Grace Ball, Columbia, South Carolina. Tori Dingle, Anderson, South Carolina.
Sophia Harden, Brooklyn, New York.
Cassidy Hutto, Lexington, South Carolina. Lex McLaughlin, McDonald, Georgia. NATO Nation, let's rock.
Out of the timeout, 2:56 remaining here at Ives Lamel. NATO's holding on to a 2-point lead. They've been outscored 4-2 here in the 4th. Trying to hang on here for the final 2 minutes and 56 seconds. 24 shots for the NATOs, 31 for Pfeiffer, 8 saves apiece for the 2 goalkeepers. .33% save rate for Kyla Smith-Fondal, who came into the game first in save percentage at 47.6%. A little bit under her season average. Pass inside Barbado. Her shot is off the mark, wide left. It will stay with Pfeiffer, though, however, as we reach the 2:30 mark. Left side, it's Johnson. Now Robinson, the tandem that has been used a lot here in this one to kind of facilitate. Robinson into Barbado. Barbado has it knocked out of her stick. Chasing after it is Cassie Hutto, but Skyla Jo Tourette's going to be able to knock it back over to Robinson. Robinson right to left between defenders, loses it, has it back on the ground. It's Emily Denega taking it away. She's going to get whacked in the head. 2:04 to go. So that one's going to be against Annalise Robinson. She's headed over into the penalty box. Denega will pick this one up where it lies, and we'll get going here again in just a second. 11-13 ball game. Tornadoes with the lead here late. 2:04 to go. Play resumes, and now Denega flips it over to Kyla Smith-Fondal. Reed comes up on Smith-Fondal, who is unfazed, and now she fires over the head of Cassie Hutto, and Cassie Hutto will be able to chase it down. On the ground is the ball at the moment, but it's picked up by Grace Blanton. Blanton over to Hill. Denega in the open field. She'll retreat. Probably the smart play, but not what we want to see up here as she chases a record. 1:20 to go. Denega right to left. Charging inside. Emily, a whistle blows. See what we get here. It's going to be a free shot opportunity here for Denega. This could be a record tire. Denega inside, fires, and that one's off the mark. Emily Denega was a couple inches away there from tying the Tornado all-time point record. Instead, it's Barbado with it. A minute even to go. Pfeiffer's got to move quick. Barbado gets it over to Johnson. Johnson cutting back on Knibeler. Got to go quickly here. Cannot delay like they have so often this game on offense. Barbado going to need to find a shot here in the next few seconds. Instead, does not look very urgent at all. Now she does charge in. Barbado fires a save. It's off of the stick of Smith-Fondal. And now here's Maddie Norris with less than 30 seconds to go. The NATOs closing in on a fifth straight victory. Maddie Norris brings it up the right side. And now both players hitting the ground. Norris loses the ball. Reagan Martinez has it. A deep pass down the field is not handled by Victoria Teton. Now it is. 12 seconds to go. Barbado, 10 seconds. Charging in. To the left, picked up by Knibeler. Barbado fires and hits the shot with 4 seconds to go. There's only 4.2 seconds remaining. It is a 1-point game, but barring a miracle, the Tornadoes will walk out of here with a victory. Don't really want to say that quite yet, but with 4 seconds, do feel comfortable-ish. 4 seconds to go, 13-12. Barbado there with her fourth goal.
Just in case anybody forgot, Barbado is second in scoring in the conference.
Yep. 4.7 points per game on average, 2.9 goals per game. And she has surpassed that here. What they're going to need here is a draw control way up in the air and then fire it immediately.
I hate to say it, but almost impossible, I would say.
I would agree.
Very slim.
Up in the air. 1 second, and now a whistle blows, and that's going to do it. 13-12, Tornadoes get the victory. Probably a little bit closer than they would have liked, but they do pull this one out. Emily Denega is going to have to wait probably until the end of the first quarter to break this record next game. At the pace that she goes at, Denega honestly could break that record in the first 2 minutes of the next game that the NATOs play. And for those of you that missed it, sitting at 187 career points is Emily Denega. She was certainly the story in this one. She needs 2 more to break the record. 7 points for Denega, 6 goals. And that was the 4th time in Denega's career that she has scored 6 goals. 7th time in her career that she has scored 6 or more. Zan Hill had 3 goals herself. Ariana Casertano with a couple of them. And let's take a look at the scoring breakdown for Pfeiffer. Skyla Jo Charette, 3 goals for her. 3 goals for Annalise Robinson. For Chloe Johnson, a pair of goals. And then Barbado knocked in 4, including that one there right at the last minute. For the Tornadoes, 6 goals by Denega, as we mentioned, an assist as well. So 7 total points for Zan Hill. 3 goals and 3 assists apiece. 6 total points for her. Knibular with a goal and 2 assists. Ariana Casertano with 2 goals, and then Kelsey Hamrick actually got the scoring going with a goal at the beginning of this one. And as a result, the NATOs win it 13-12 for their 5th straight victory. Another conference victory. NATOs now 4-0 in the conference. They came into this one with a 4-way tie for first with Methodist, Meredith, and Piedmont. We'll have to check in and see what happened in those games to see if that tie shrinks a little bit or not. But the NATOs do stay undefeated in USA South play, and they move to 7-4 on the year, 4-2 at home. It was the Emily Denega show, as it has been so often in her career here at Brevard, and the NATOs pick up a huge 13-12 win. Taking a look at what the NATOs have coming up here, they obviously got this victory against Pfeiffer, and now a 5-game win streak for them. William Peace, North Carolina Wesleyan, Averett, Greensboro, and now Pfeiffer have been the 5 victims here. And the Tornadoes will pick it back up this Saturday at 11 a.m. here against Meredith. One of those teams that we said coming into this one was tied for first in the conference with Brevard. It's the Morgan's Message game for the NATOs, so hoping that they can come out on top in that one and remain undefeated in conference play. The next game after that is against Huntington at home, so the NATOs back-to-back home games coming up after this one, and that will cap off 3 straight here at Ives Lamel after last Saturday taking on Greensboro on the road in an in-state matchup. 13-12 the final here. NATOs winning it. And until next time, we will see you. Brady Penn and Weston Coop signing off. Until next time, saying, let's go NATOs.